Hey, what's going on?
Just don't. Just don't. Please.
Okay.
For the love of God.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to EDT, the Everyday Thoughts podcast, hosted by ya boys, Devin and Casey. Say what's up to the crowd, Devin.
Hi. I'm the not cringy one.
Fuck you, too. Suck a dick.
Shut up with your fucking Burger King foot fungus.
Burger King food fungus. Anyways, dude, have you seen The Incredibles 2? Or, I mean,
not the movie. I've seen
not
the trailer.
Movie, but the trailer. What do you think of the trailer?
I mean, it looks like what I would expect from Incredibles 2. It looks interesting. Looks like my childhood.
Are you fucking stoked for it?
Yeah. I'm not one of those people that got, like, super hyped. I mean, childhood movie, yes. New one, I will like it, but...
We can't be friends anymore.
Well, I see how it is.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I was pretty hyped for it. I watched it when I was young. You know what I never realized, though, as a kid? That movie's set in the 60s. It's, like, definitely not set in modern day.
I never really thought about that either.
Yeah, dude. I thought about it. Watching the trailer, I'm thinking about looking at some of the background characters, looking at the architecture, and then the cars. I'm like, none of this looks really modern. You know, the kids, they dress like they're straight out of the 50s, you know? Like they're high school kids. So it's like, yeah, it turns out it's set in the 60s, bruh.
It's interesting.
It sort of made me go like, what the fuck? Like, because like the opening shot, it looks like somewhat modern, like a modern like office, really boring and soul sucking, but it looked modern.
I mean, let's be honest though. How much has an office changed?
It's actually, you'd be surprised actually. Well, I mean, there's still a lot of like cubicles and shit like that, but like a lot of these like new Silicon Valley startups, they have like weird layouts now. It's like they have just like an open table and everyone's just like chilling with their laptops and everyone's got their road bike behind them and their quinoa salad to the right.
And everyone's a hipster.
Yes. If the joke wasn't obvious enough.
And if you start working there and you're not, you're gonna become one. Or you're fired. They
say that that people are really influenced by their environment. You know, like your environment rubs off on you. You think that's true?
Well, I mean, just being around anything will fucking rub off on you.
I guess. But anyways, movie looks fucking dope. Would you be down to watch it when it comes out?
I mean, I'm down to watch it. It's just not something I was like, oh my god,
you should go watch it.
It's the new Incredibles, man. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't get hyped for like sequels to kids' movies that I watched as a kid.
I was more excited for the announcement than the actual trailer. The trailer didn't show much, which I guess is a good thing because lately, you know, like movie trailers been showing off way too fucking much.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I didn't really watch Cars 3 because I already knew the fucking plot. They said it in the fucking trailer.
It was also Cars 3.
Well, I mean, I was pretty hyped for it, but then the trailers, they just kept giving it away. I'm like, fuck, dude, I've already seen the movie already. It hasn't even come out.
It was also the third Cars movie.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the third one was, I heard, is a lot better than the second. The second one was just...
I didn't watch any sequels because they all looked bad.
The third one looked really good. It's just that they gave it all fucking away. The second one was just bad.
You mean it wasn't opening scene?
Yeah, it wasn't all cryptic and retarded.
Wasn't Inception?
I never even seen Inception. I was gonna say Inception. I heard it's just mind blowing. Like the ending is like fucking what?
It's interesting.
But then again, I've never seen the ending.
The ending isn't. I kind of want to tell you because it's stupid, but
I mean, at this point, I'm probably not gonna watch the ending.
Well, okay, so when they're in the fucking like whatever dream state world, I don't even remember what the fuck it was called at this point.
The dream,
like yeah, whatever it is, they go into. They have like special tokens to remind them they're still in the dream world or whatever they're fucking in. Like, so that they know they're not in reality. Like, one dude has loaded dice, so that it always lands on one number. I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, the main character, Leonardo DiCaprio, he has I think you find out, like, I don't know. Okay, I might be mixing movies now. I think his wife, like, killed their kids or something. But anyways, and, like...
You're thinking of Titanic.
No, like, his wife... Yes, in Titanic, his wife killed their kids. No, I think it was that movie. I'm almost confusing that one and that other movie he was in where he was in an insane asylum. Don't remember what that one's called though.
Wolf of Wall Street?
No. Well, I think it was like his wife killed their kid, and then they went into the world because their kid could be there. And then at the end, you think he's like home, and his kids and wife are there. Like you think it's the real world, and like he was imagining shit or something. And then he had his thing to know if he was in the world or dream world or not was a top, a spinning top, like a metal top, and he'd spin it, and if it fell over, it was the real world. But in the dream world, it would consistently spin like and wouldn't fall over. And the movie just ends with him walking over to his like wife and kid, spins the top, and then the top like is spinning, and the camera just zooms in on it spinning. It looks like it's about looks like it's about to topple, and then it starts spinning again, and then it cuts to black.
That's a pretty crazy ending.
It's more of a fuck you. You don't get to know what happens.
Well, I mean, he's living in the dream world.
You don't know that because it looked like it was starting to topple.
Oh, that's even, dude. I can imagine the fan reaction.
That's the fucked up part.
Well, I mean, like I heard it made you go like, "Whoa," because of the fan reaction. Like I heard it had a really crazy fan reaction. I can imagine going fucking nuts over that ending. Holy shit! Because like like the lady and the tiger bullshit. Like I feel like the ending is up to interpretation. That's why it leaves it on that little cliffhanger. Like you're never gonna really know because depending on the person you are, that's the ending that you interpret. Like is he living in?
No, it's rare.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just rare to me for any movie to like be like a moment. Like, I'm just like, man. To me, that ending felt more like, oh, so I watched this whole movie to not know anything. Thanks.
That's the thing. It's like fucking nothing.
Like I went through this. Like, what was the point of this movie at this point? Like, I don't know what happened.
I kind of want to watch that movie.
Honestly, to be honest, looking back on that movie, I don't really know what it's about.
It's about the dream world, man.
Well, no, I think they were going like into what they were doing was they went into a dream world and then they kept going into other dream worlds and they were trying to find somebody or some shit, I think. But then it gets really convoluted because they go to like a fucking apocalypse city and they wash up on the beach and there's like an Asian monk man. I don't fucking know. And then they find the dude. I don't know. I think they get him out and then that's when this top thing happens and you're just like, wow, so I don't know what the fuck just happened.
That's the thing is fucking nothing. That's why it's like, I heard the movie's really complicated. Like, fuck, dude, everything I heard.
It's not complicated. Nobody knows what the fuck happened. It's not like some dude analyzed it and it's like, I think I figured it out. It's literally like everyone just went, why?
It sounds pretty complicated. Kind of want to see it.
Not complicated. It's literally just like, I could write a movie about literally nothing that wraps up at the end. Like, dude, the whole premise of this movie was, look, they're in a dream world. They don't know if they're in a dream world. They could possibly get stuck here. And then it ends on, do you know if he's in a dream world? Like, okay, thanks.
Yoda's all.
Pretty much. It's almost like a literally choose your own ending. Like, do you want him to be happy with his family in real life? Or is this a dream and he's still fucking stuck? It's just, yeah. I don't personally like endings that make me go like, why? I like them to wrap up some things.
It's a very non-Western ending, I guess you could say. Well, I mean, I guess somewhat. You ever heard of that concept, a Western ending?
It's either that or it's one of those movies where I just don't fucking get the ending because apparently I'm retarded. Like, No Country for Old Men's ending, I kind of didn't get that one.
No Country for Old Men.
I didn't pay attention enough.
Isn't that the one where they have gay sex in the tent?
That's fucking Brokeback Mountain. No Country for Old Men's about some dude who like stumbles across like some cartel deal and takes the money and then they're trying to hunt him down or some shit.
Oh.
And there's some crazy dude hunting him down with like a fucking cattle prod gun. And then at the end I thought he fucking died, but apparently I talked to my friend about it and he's like, nope, he didn't die. He made a deal with the sheriff. It's like I'm like, I don't fucking know what's happening then. I thought he fucking died.
Do they have sex in a tent?
No.
Then
there's no tent or sex that I remember in this movie.
That you remember. How long has it been since you watched it, though?
I don't know, 3 or 4 years, maybe.
That's enough time to forget some pretty key elements of a movie.
I mean, I watched it pretty late. It's kind of old at this point. I think I'd remember if it was about fucking gay cowboys, okay? Anyways, many of these old movies you would get on DVD. But soon, you might not even have CDs.
Right. Best Buy. They're
Getting rid of CDs.
no.
You okay over there? Like, can't remember a simple thing.
Sorry, I was trying to look up an article. Fuck it, I guess it's not important. But yeah, Best Buy. I think as of July 31st, 2018, they're gonna stop selling CDs in their stores.
Are they gonna stop or just phase it out?
Completely like stop.
Like they're just gonna take all the CDs they have and just dump them.
Like they're slowly gonna like start dwindling down their CD sections. Like a lot of stores have been lately. You know, a lot of stores have just kind of been shrinking down their CD sections, you know, smaller and smaller to make room for more stuff, you know, because CDs aren't really selling as much anymore. They're just completely axing it. They're completely just getting rid of their CDs. I think as of July 1st, I'm pretty sure.
Well, at this point, everything's going digital. Like everything.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean,
even video games. Most people don't even want to buy discs for those anymore.
like there are artists, especially like in the industry now, because like making music is so much more accessible these days to people that really anybody can make a song and upload it to SoundCloud or upload it to Spotify or Apple Music or anything, you know. And you really don't need to have a label behind you to promote a CD, you know. It's like those days are gone. There are artists out there that don't ever release a physical CD. Like everything is just digital. Everything is just streaming. It's really a long time coming. I'm surprised they're doing it now and haven't done it sooner.
Check me out on SoundCloud.
Totally. You know, it's like I feel like this is the beginning of the end for CDs.
I mean, physical media is kind of dying in general.
Yeah.
To be honest, anything disc based is kind of dying.
Yeah,
like my gaming PC literally does not have a fucking CD tray.
Neither does my laptop. I've been debating just like buying like an external one actually.
Yeah, I thought about that because I actually have some classic ass like
PC games. But I mean, even like console games, you know, like disc-based games aren't selling as much anymore as you get digital copies because it's so much easier to just have everything stored in your fucking box than having like a dedicated space for a collection of discs. But that being said, I do have a rack for CDs because I still like to listen to CDs. You know, it's like the quality is much better than you'd get on an MP3 on your phone. You know, but because like the fact of the matter is, some people still like a physical thing in their hands. But also, I think it sort of kind of coincides with just the lack of people shopping in box retail stores. You know, like who goes to Best Buy in the first place? Not that many people. I'll tell you that. Like the Best Buy where we live, it's like it's never really super busy.
Yeah, it's true. I go in there and there's like fucking 10 people at once.
Yeah, everyone orders shit off of Amazon. You know, like fuck, dude. Half the CDs I got are from Amazon.
Pretty sure at any given time, Best Buy, 50% of the people inside are the fucking people in the back trying to sell you computers.
It's, you know, so I mean, physical media is sort of just kind of beginning to phase out, you know. Yeah, but it's also it's really interesting to think about that you no longer really own your music, you know, like you don't have a thing that you bought that you own. Like everything is now being streamed. It's more or less like being rented out for you for free, I guess, depending on like where you go.
Well, it's kind of like when you buy a video game, you like legally you don't own the game, even if it's on disc. It's weird, like you're fucking buying a software license to play the game. I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's fucking weird.
Because it is software. You know, you are technically playing. You are technically playing, but you're also technically paying for software. You know, just like I pay for Pro Tools. I pay like $30 a month for Pro Tools. Like I pay for the software license. I don't own this fucking program. I just sort of pay a monthly subscription for it.
You rent
know? It pretty much, like if I miss a payment, I don't get to use it. Like it's they got me by the testicles here, man. The straight the nuts. Just, but I mean, I guess it's sort of inevitable. CDs are on their way out. But it kind of makes you wonder, do you think streaming is always going to be the way we consume music?
I mean, I still feel like there's a place for like the store, you know, like like on phones, like, you know, buying your music on the phone. Having a database where you're pretty much always have access to those files from any place that supports the store.
Yeah.
So that it's at least a little bit more like you still own it, but it's still not a
I
physical
can see
item.
that happening. And I don't think that CDs are gonna like 100% be phased out. You know, like yeah, a lot of independent artists they're probably not gonna use CDs anytime soon. They're like I guess they're sort of like the early adapters, not adopters, but adapters.
I mean, hey, maybe this will help fucking Streetlight get some more sales.
Yeah, cause like you still have like big bands, big artists. Like they're still releasing physical media. They're still releasing CDs. They're still releasing fucking you know, fuck Blink 182. Not that long ago, a couple years back, they released a fucking cassette tape. I think. Like there's still a market for like cassettes.
I mean, there's still
Like-
quite a bit of there's still quite a bit of artists that sometimes drop vinyl.
There are a lot of artists that still drop vinyl. I mean, it's like physical media. I think there's always going to be a market for them because there's always going to be like I don't want to say novelty, but I guess like just the
Well, it's just nice to know that you own something, like in that it's in your hands. You can go pick it up and do whatever the fuck you want with it. I mean, that's kind of like sharing shit, kind of, to be honest, is dying at this point. Because you can't just, like, give someone a fucking, like, CD anymore. It's not like, oh, well, I mean, you can give someone a CD, but I'm saying, like, if you bought it through a store, you can't just be like, oh, man, check out this CD, it's fucking nice. You fucking like it. You have to be like, dude, check out this music. Go find it yourself.
yeah.
I swear you'll like it, trust me.
There's still just like something about having a physical thing, you know, in your hands.
I think it's just, like, knowing it's yours.
Yeah, it's it's just like it's part of your collection. Like I got my CD rack nice displayed in the corner of my room with some vinyl records next to them. I got that. I got the Chronic by fucking Dr. Dre for the whole world to see, the Death album.
I have a million you've seen it. I have that bookshelf full of fucking DVDs and fucking CDs, and
yeah,
I even have fucking Grand Theft Auto 1 on the PlayStation 1 fucking on disc with the DLC Grand Theft Auto London, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, so CDs I don't think are gonna go away. Contrary to what I just fucking said when I said CDs are on their way out, and they are on their way out. But I feel like they're on their way out of big box stores like Kmart, fucking Target. Well, I mean, I heard Target is actually reporting good CD sales, which is interesting. But Best Buy and all those other places, Walmart. Walmart's like shit. CDs, what are those?
Well, to be honest, I don't know the last time I've thought of like if I wanted to buy a CD. I don't think Best Buy would even be the first place I'd think.
Yeah, no. Honestly, like besides like Streetlight Records, which is like it's a local shop here where we live. Besides that, I'd probably like go maybe Target. That'd probably be like the first place I'd go to.
Yeah, just some like generic ass Walmart style.
Target, that was interesting because like their CD section is pretty big. Well, I mean bigger than you'd see it at most retailers. Because like if you go to Target and you go to Kmart, like the Kmart CD section is super tiny, and you don't even like see like full albums of like recent artists or anything like that. Like you just see greatest hits. You see fucking compilation albums, live concert albums and shit like that. You don't really see like fucking SZA.
To be honest, most of the shit I fucking see in CD sections is like shit you'd be like, oh, my mom would want that.
That too. Yeah, it's just, I think CDs aren't going anywhere. It's just where they're to be bought is more or less just evolving.
Yeah.
It's they're more or less going to be like a commodity. Is that the word?
Yeah, I'd say novelty.
Novelty. Yeah, but I mean like I guess novelty. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the right word.
Anyways, I don't know. I feel like we've just gotten to the point where we're like CDs are going away. This is why.
Yeah. we're just kind of like stretching this out. But moving on from that, we got a story about fan obsession to the fucking extreme. It's pretty fucking bad. Devin, do you want to explain?
Well, pretty much from what it looks like, some dude from New Mexico got obsessed with this girl who is
Meg Turney.
Yeah, Meg Turney. she's the host on The Know, I know that, but I think she's also known for like her fucking Instagram and shit.
Well, she's not a host on the Know anymore. I think she quit some time ago. But she's like an internet personality, you know.
And she's dating this guy, Gavin Freeman, who I think
She's from Achievement Hunter.
he's on Achievement Hunter, and he does the slow-mo guys
Yeah.
things. And I didn't even know they were dating, but anyways, apparently they're dating and they're at home. And some dude from New Mexico who was obsessed with her shows up in the middle of the night. I can't remember, like he broke a window or something, so then they got scared, hid in the closet, and called 911. Then apparently at some point in the house, he fired a gun off, and then police arrived. Apparently, I think it was in their driveway. They told the guy to fucking like stop. And from what I hear, he like shot at the cops, and then one of the cops shot back and killed him. And then they went through his shit. He just had weird ass fucking messages and shit about like obsessed with fucking Meg Turney, and like creepy shit he said about like Gavin, like he wanted him to die alone with no children. It's just creepy.
Jesus, it's pretty fucking insane. Just like how obsessive some people can get over someone they don't even fucking know. They've never met, never seen them in real life. They don't know them at all. It really baffles my mind. How the fuck can you be so hung up on someone like that? To the point where you feel the need to go break into their house to murder her husband. Like, what the fuck were you expecting? To like, say you kill Gavin, what do you do now? Come here, Meg, I'll treat you right.
He's a white knight.
I mean, I'm kind of making light of the situation because it had a happy ending. The dude was killed, and Gavin and Meg, they're recovering as best as they can. I can imagine it's a pretty traumatizing event for them. You know, it really goes to show how far someone can obsess over somebody.
And how crazy it is to easily find people's fucking info.
Seriously. Fuck, dude. This isn't the first case of disturbed fans attempting to harm a certain personality, whether they be on YouTube or whether, they're Instagram model, or something, whatever. Like Christina Grimmie, she was murdered just a little under like 2 years ago by a deranged fucking individual.
And then wasn't like Philip DeFranco's house got broken into once when he was on like on a trip?
Yeah, he was traveling, and then someone had broken into their home, and then his wife and kid were there at the time. It can really fuck someone up, like that sort of shit. It's pretty traumatizing.
I can't remember. This was a while ago, like a couple of years ago at least. There was some like YouTuber convention thing that people went to, and I remember there was a YouTuber that got their house broken into too. I don't remember who it was, but it wasn't a very big YouTuber, but big enough that someone wanted to break into their house.
Fuck, dude. It's really scary sometimes, just like how someone could obsess.
We should stop making episodes.
You never know what's gonna happen to us. No, we're not that important. But I don't know. It's really scary to think about, just how easily someone can get to you.
Especially with the internet and just weirdly ease of access of fucking personal information.
Seriously, like, where were you gonna take this?
That's the thing with a lot of these shooting things is like, what was your end goal?
It really makes me wonder, like, what this guy was thinking, what was going through his mind, what was affecting him. Like, is he on some sort of medication? Is he mentally disturbed? Because there's being obsessed with fandom, but then there's fucking stalking someone and trying to murder their loved ones. That's not what a fan does.
It's quite the opposite.
It is quite the opposite of what a fan would do.
Well, it's almost like an extreme version of white knighting, honestly, because a lot of the time people like, I'll treat you better, and then the fucking person they're saying that's to like you're saying like, yeah, sure, like had a fight, but you're just talking shit about my loved one. Who the fuck are you?
I bet he was one of those are nice guys.
Oh God, neckbeard.
Exactly. Meg Turney's hot, but she's not, lose your life hot.
I saw a picture of the dude. He looked insane.
I can imagine.
He looked like a guy who lived in a trailer park and smoked meth. I'll be honest.
Damn, sounds like someone I'd be friends with.
Jesus, you can't say things like this.
A little late, I already did.
Edit it.
Oh, this is why we're unfiltered. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that kind of went down the shitter pretty quick.
Super quick. It's still our most popular video, too. With a whole 26 views.
And 2 comments. One of which wasn't someone we know.
But yeah, um, any final thoughts? Any closing statements you may have, or do you forever hold your peace?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just sketchy.
A lot of people will justify this and say, well, it's like, what can you expect from being famous? You sort of sign up for this. You sort of put yourself in this situation because, like you're in the public eye so much and this is what you wanted, right? So it comes with the fame. But no, that's bullshit. The celebrities, they're not these fucking superhuman entities, like they're still people. They're still living, breathing human bodies that deserve some privacy. Fuck, dude.
Well, it's like that the most fucking famous people signed up for is to get annoyingly pestered in public, not break into your house and almost have your loved one murdered in front of you.
I treat you right, Meg. I'll start off by killing your husband.
But now you can love me.
But anyways, there's really nothing more we can say about that.
It's ridiculous.
And just for a final topic of the day, there's no really good way to transition into this, so we'll just get right into it. So a school in Parkland, Florida, was recently subject of the latest school shooting, and I sound pretty callous when I say the latest school shooting, but I can't help but not feel shocked anymore when I see these stories. They've just become so common. Since January 1st, there have been 18 mass shootings in the United States.
Jesus.
We're not even halfway into the second month of the year. It makes you wonder how much more is there going to be. But 17 people unfortunately lost their lives, and there are more details that are coming out as the story develops. But right now, this is the information that we have. An article in the New York Times says that the suspect in one of the deadliest mass shootings in modern American history confessed to police that he began shooting students that he saw in the hallways and on school grounds, according to a police arrest report released Thursday. The suspect, Nicholas Cruz, age 19, carried a black duffel bag and backpack where he had hid loaded magazines. The report said he arrived at Majority Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland in an Uber at 2:19 p.m. on Wednesday and pulled out a semi-automatic AR-15 rifle, according to details described by authorities at a news conference on Thursday. So, right around the time as, kids are about to be dismissed, this guy rolls up in an Uber and, well, you know what happens next. Mr. Cruz also shot people inside 5 classrooms on the first and second floors of the freshman building. He eventually discarded the rifle, a vest, and ammunition in a stairwell, blended in with the fleeing students, and got away, authorities said. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's fucking scary to think about. I didn't even know about that. That's fucking insane. Can you imagine that? Not knowing that the person that essentially, fuck, dude.
The person that just shot the school up that you are now running away from is in the group with you.
That just fucks my mind. He's amongst you people, like, fuck. Jesus. After leaving the school, Mr. Cruz walked to a Walmart and bought a drink at a Subway. He also stopped at McDonald's. He was arrested by the police without incident as he walked down a residential street at 3:41 p.m. So after all that,
fucking regular Lee Harvey Oswald over here.
Pretty much, like, he's hiding in plain sight, or at least that's what he's trying to do. Like, after all of that, he just murders 17 people, and then he just fucking walks to Walmart and buys a drink at Subway, just chills at McDonald's. Like, fuck, dude. He looked like a typical high school student, and for a quick moment I thought, could this be the person who I need to stop? Said Officer Michael Leonard. Here are the takeaways. Mr. Cruz faces 17 counts of premeditated murder, one for each of the people. He is accused of killing on Wednesday in a shooting that was captured on cell phone video by terrified students. He is being held without bond at the main Broward County Jail, where he has been placed on suicide watch, according to Gordon Weeks, the county's chief assistant public defender. I hope he doesn't fucking commit suicide, dude. Like, he fucking needs to face the music.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think the sketchiest part of this whole thing is just the fucking videos that came out of the students filmed.
Yeah. Shit. There was people criticizing the kids for filming video rather than calling the police.
Yeah, I saw that.
That shit was so fucking stupid. First of all, these kids, they don't know what's going on. They're freaked the fuck out. Second, they probably did call the police. In fact, they called the police so much they were told not to call anymore. Like, How many times do you need to call 911 before they realize like there's a shooting going on? Like, fuck. You don't think that's what they fucking did as soon as they heard shots ring out? Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, moving on. The AR-15 rifle used in the attack was purchased legally at Sunrise Technical Supply in Florida, according to a federal law enforcement official. The arrest report said Mr. Cruz purchased it in February 2017. "Quote unquote, no laws were violated in the procurement of this weapon," said Peter J. Forcelli, the suspect agent in charge for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives in Miami. So there was no indication that he was going to do anything wrong. Of course, you have a lot of people that are now going to start talking about gun control, and we'll get into that in a little bit. The FBI said on Thursday it received information last year about a comment made on a YouTube channel, which has been attributed to the gunman, but was unable to identify the person. Now, this is bullshit, dude, because in that YouTube comment, it said his full fucking name, okay? And fuck, dude, you're telling me that the FBI doesn't have the tools to identify a person based on their fucking YouTube account? Give me a fucking break, dude. This is bullshit. They could have easily identified the person. They just didn't pay any mind to it.
Well, it's also, I mean, they can't go over every YouTube comment, but I mean, like, did anyone report it?
Yeah, it was reported. It was reported by the person who ran the channel. Fuck, I think it was reported by more than one person. I could be wrong. But it was reported, and they looked into it. But I guess they deemed it unimportant or something. But it's so ridiculous. They're saying that they couldn't identify it. That's complete bullshit. Okay. It's somewhat understandable that they may not have looked into it because they can't look into every single, oh, I'm a school shooter, or I'm going to shoot up this school, because they say that they gave no indication of time or place. Okay. And that's fair enough. But then they say that they couldn't identify the person. That's complete bullshit. They could easily identify these people. They have the exploits, and that's not a secret.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to find somebody, they'll find them.
I mean, fuck, dude. What are we being spied on for? If this is not what they're trying to stop, fuck. You hear me, NSA? You hear me in that phone? You can hear me, right?
Alexa, you fucking hear me?
If this is not what you're trying to stop, what are you spying on me for? Tell that to Trump. Okay, Google, why the fuck do you keep spying on me if you're not going to stop mass shootings?
Okay, Google. No, it's not going to listen to me. I was going to actually try it.
But no, I'm being serious. Like, they just didn't do it. The article goes on to say, in Florida, an AR-15 is easier to buy than a handgun. Well, I think in general, long rifles are easier to buy than handguns. I think you have to be a certain age to buy a handgun. Well, at least in California. But then again, AR-15s are considered long rifles. I think they're considered assault rifles.
Yeah.
With this shooting, 3 of the 10 deadliest mass shootings in modern United States history have come up in the last 5 months. That's fucking ridiculous. Huge crowd gathered at Pine Trails Park in Parkland for an emotional vigil to commemorate the victims, 14 of whom were students.
Well, speaking of the football team, from what I heard, it's kind of sketchy, but, I mean, good in a way. For what he did, the football coach was apparently seen he stepped in front of the gunfire to shield some of the kids.
Yeah, he unfortunately lost his life, I think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the coach's name was Aaron Face. He was assistant football coach at MS Douglas High School, and he was also a studies hall teacher. He unfortunately lost his life protecting children. Fuck, man, this whole situation is just. I'm not shocked anymore. There's no sense of, wow, fucking really? Well, here we go again.
The impact has been lost on time.
Fuck, dude. It feels like it's a constant, just vicious cycle of madness whenever something like this happens.
It's less of a what that happened, it's more of a, oh, here we go again.
Exactly, yeah. Fuck. And it's the whole life cycle goes like this. The shooting happens, politicians, Congress fucking giving their usual thoughts and prayers, and you have people on the internet giving their thoughts and prayers. And then you have people saying, well, thoughts and prayers don't work, but they're not doing anything themselves either. And then people argue on social media about gun reform, and no one gets anywhere because everyone is a closed-minded fuck that doesn't really want to engage in conversation. And then the next shooting happens. Everyone forgets the first one, and then nothing happens, nothing gets changed, and then the next thing happens. It's a constant, just vicious life cycle of stupidity and madness, and it's pretty ridiculous, you know. And then you have people that's saying, well, I mean, it's too soon to talk about gun control. Like, fuck, this just happened. You know, like we shouldn't talk about gun control right now. Like that's fucking ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
It should be talked about, but not like politicized. Like, I don't mean politicized as in like it shouldn't be talked about politically. I'm just saying like it shouldn't be this big thing you're out there flaunting.
Like honestly, gun reform really shouldn't be a partisan issue in my opinion. Like because when people say gun control, people, at least people on the far right, they immediately attribute that to they want to take our guns away. Like they want to fucking ban all guns and they want to come. They're gonna take my guns away over my fucking dead body. Like that's not what's gonna happen. Like there needs to be some sort of reform. There needs to be some sort of change. But yeah, of course, it's not like we should ban guns or or even ban AR-15 rifles.
Even though it wouldn't be a perfect system, I feel like there needs to be some sort of like psych evaluation before you can just like willy nilly buy a firearm.
Well, yeah, there's a background check, but like how extensive is it?
Well, they're pretty extensive. I think they actually go through the FBI.
Yeah, I think they have to, but they check for criminal history. You know, that's about it. You know, like there probably should be a psych evaluation, honestly. Like if you are deemed to be a danger to yourself or other people, fuck, you should not be able to buy a gun. It should be that simple.
Well, it should be like just like a little mini, like you don't pay for it or anything. It's just a little mini thing. You get an appointment. You go see a psychiatrist for like 10 minutes. They fucking evaluate you, and now you're allowed to buy firearms.
I don't know. It's like,
and then if you want to buy another gun and X amount of time has passed, you have to go in for another one.
Thing is, people argue though, like how necessary is gun control? And because like you see other countries in the world, they have way less gun violence, and some just as many guns. Obviously their regulations are a little different.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I think technically Canada has more firearms than the U.S. Like their citizens privately owned with weapons.
Yeah, and fuck, dude, they leave their doors unlocked at night. But yeah, I mean, it's like you look at Canada and you look at the U.S. and you think to yourself like, what's different? And I think like the a big difference is just the media. Like the media in Canada is really different than the media in the U.S. Typically, the media here in the U.S. likes to fearmonger. Like they like to scare people.
Well, it's kind of how like the whole police shooting like fiasco started. Is they just like they were like cops are shooting everybody now.
Right. It's I don't know. It's just like they push this sort of fear and they sort of instill this like irrationality in people. Like they make them on their toes so they can be hooked onto their programming. So it's like, fuck, the world is really fucking scary. You want to see how fucking scary it is? Keep watching our show and we'll tell you how fucking scary it is and how to protect yourself. And then people feel the need to buy guns. And then people are on edge all the fucking time.
Stay tuned. We'll show you what the fuck's happening next.
Exactly. People buy guns to protect themselves because now they're fucking scared out of their fucking minds. Gun control, I don't know if gun control is really like the answer here. I mean, don't get me wrong. There needs to be some sort of reform. Absolutely. But I don't know if 100% gun control like is the answer. Or fuck, I guess that's a wrong way to say it. But like this kid was fucking disturbed. Let's not rule that out.
I don't know. I'd say it's almost more of a failure, less on gun control in the U.S. It's more a failure on like the culture and how we treat, or I guess the lack of treating people, like getting people help and making them feel like they're not alone.
Yeah, like
because honestly, like going through high school and shit here, like I mean, I never felt like, to be honest, that there was anywhere to go if I needed help. I mean, I know there was, but like it's not like you don't get this strong feeling that like there's people out there to back you.
Yeah, I mean, there's also no question that this kid was like pretty fucked up mentally. From what I heard, like he'd gone through some traumatic things in his life, and I'm not like defending this kid or justifying his actions in any way, shape, or form, but this kid was pretty fucked up, and I don't think he got the help that he needed. And unfortunately, he just sort of just kind of he just snapped, you know, and unfortunately cost 17 people their fucking lives because this kid felt the need to take it out on other people like a fucking coward.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's more of there's a mental health problem in the U.S.
There really is, and we're not treating
Well,
it.
not that there's more people in the U.S. than have mental health problems, just that there's no easy way of like
We're just not
treating.
dealing with it in the right way, you know, like fuck, what do we do with mentally ill people? You know, like shit, they get hooked on drugs and we throw them in jail and then it just throw them into this revolving door of just in and out of prison and in and out of jail for various little things, you know. It's like they keep going back and forth and they're not really getting the help that they need. And then you have people you know, people who are over medicated. Like I imagine this kid is on a fucking cocktail of medication because you know, they take drugs for depression, then they take some for anxiety, then they take some for antipsychotics. You know, it's like these kids are on a slurry of drugs.
And to be honest, I mean, maybe, I mean, also the problem could be that he wasn't on that.
There's a yeah
Like
that
he might have needed pills that he wasn't given because he didn't get help.
that also is the possibility. Yeah, it can it can happen just as much the other way around. It's you know our system is fucked, dude.
It's a vicious cycle.
Pretty much, yeah. Honestly, like, and fuck, guns. The way I look at them, they're not really a weapon. They're not really a toy. They're a tool. You know, if we want to talk about gun reform, like, let's make it a little more rigorous for people to get guns. You know, it's like you need a license to buy a firearm. What does it take to get a license to own a firearm? Like, do you need to take a written test or some shit?
I have no idea. I think there's just a safety course that I mean I don't know, but
The way I see it, it's like it should be like getting a driver's license. You know, like you have to take a written test, and you have to take a practical test, you know, to show that you are capable and competent enough to operate a dangerous tool. Because a car is a pretty dangerous fucking tool. It's a 2-ton missile going down the freeway at 60 miles an hour, where and a gun is a projectile launching tool that can fucking hurt somebody, just like a nail gun. You should be required to take a gun safety course because I can't imagine the amount of jackasses that buy a gun that don't know proper gun safety or that don't practice proper gun safety. We should instill that habit into people. And that's not going to stop school shootings, obviously, because the fact of the matter is, I don't think there's ever a way to cure crazy in this world. There's always going to be a fucked up individual, whether you ban guns or not. You can ban guns tomorrow. There's always going to be a fucked up person that's going to want to murder people. You know, they're just not going to use a gun to do it. They'll get fucking knives. Or you'll get like in the UK where acid attacks are way more prevalent than ever. You know, they don't got guns. Fuck, they'll just make their own weapons. You know, they'll fucking make acid. Or they don't even have to make it. They'll just buy it. Get some Clorox, put it in a water bottle, throw it on someone's face.
it's more about getting better at identifying and helping at-risk people.
Right. Yeah. And the point of like making it more difficult to get a gun would just be to, you know, not necessarily take guns away from people, but just keep them out of the hands of people who are unresponsible gun owners.
Yeah.
You know. But anyways, this whole story is kind of depressing as well. You know, because at the same time, there are 17 victims, 17 people,
Kids.
kids,
Well, 14 wasn't like 3 of it faculty.
right? You know,
I never thought, to be honest, as a kid, I never thought teacher'd be a dangerous job.
fuck, dude. It's crazy to think about. Yeah, there's being a teacher. There's now a risk, I guess. I don't know, like what the fuck is up, you know? Because we clearly didn't have these problems before. Guns have always kind of been around. They've kind of always been accessible, but we've never had the prevalence of mass shootings like we do today. I don't think it's necessarily guns that are the problem, because you know I'm a firm believer that guns don't kill people. It's people that kill people. It's a combination of things. It's the lack of a good medical care system, which can make it really difficult for people with mental disabilities and mental illnesses to get the help that they need. And this kid clearly did not get the help that he so desperately needed. No person in the right mind glorifies mass shootings like he does. No person in the right mind aspires to be a quote unquote professional mass shooter. This kid was not right. A lot of people call him a terrorist, and they say he's a terrorist specifically because he belonged to a white nationalist movement, and he was essentially a fucking neo-Nazi. I don't know if he was necessarily trying to further a political agenda in this case. I just think he was fucked up because he killed white people. I think if he was trying to further some agenda, you'd think as a white nationalist he'd only kill a certain race.
I think it's more of just a coincidence than he wasn't going into the shooting as a neo-Nazi. He was just a fucked up kid.
Right. It wasn't like a Dylan Roof, who went into like
a black church to kill black people.
Yeah, and this guy was pretty fucked up. And it's funny too, because like according to some of the students, they sort of predicted because he used to go to MS Douglas. They all would say like, yeah, if anyone was going to shoot up the school, it'd probably be him. And unfortunately, they were right.
I don't know. It's there needs to be a better system, in my opinion, integrated into school systems. Considering everyone has to go to school, it's the best way to like catch things before things happen. Like, am I the only one that remembers in elementary school you actually got like, fucking nurses and shit came in to check on kids and shit like once the fucking year and like weird shit? Like, why not put a little like, once a year you get pulled aside and you get a little like therapist talking to psych exam.
Yeah, honestly, that would be a great thing to implement into schools, honestly, because... But
then you'll have people, I don't want my kids subjugated like they're some kind of criminal and they're crazy. You're gonna make kids think they're crazy. It's like if a fucking slight psych exam inconveniences you.
Honestly, there's also this sort of like societal stigma behind people who have mental illnesses. I feel like Hollywood is a big factor, and not only that, but the media as well. The media and Hollywood portrays people who are mentally ill as these like crazy individuals. Like Hollywood portrays psychopaths as like Norman Bates or fucking Leatherface, when in reality like a psychopath is much different than that. And then the media tends to villainize people who have mental illnesses, but people who are mentally ill, they're not crazy. They're just, their brain functions a little differently than yours.
Yeah, their brain chemistry is a little off.
Exactly. They're not crazy. Just looking out for the well-being of children doesn't make them crazy, There's so many things that could have been done differently. But I guess hindsight is 20/20, The only thing we can really do now is try to come up with solutions and try to have a dialogue. It's never too soon to have a dialogue. When the concern is stopping people from losing their lives. When the subject of the matter is to stop people from dying, it's never too fucking soon to come up with solutions.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, though, also too, it's like in school, you have a fucking physical exam, like a physical health exam. Why not have a mental health one too? Like,
yeah, just to make sure everything's cool,
You can be a neo-Nazi murderer, but I mean, as long as you can run a mile in 9 minutes.
Well, why not the presidential's mental health exam? You all good up there, buddy? But anyways, I guess that's just we're gonna leave off the episode, guys. There's really nothing more we could say. Yeah, this whole situation's pretty fucked up. So you hitting him with the old like and subscribe doesn't really seem right now. But thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. We will be back next time.
Pretty sure last time we said we were gonna try and end on a higher note.
Yeah, and oh boy, did we not keep good on that promise. Well, thanks for watching, guys. And hope to see you guys in the next one.
Peace.